Hey folks, this is Matt aka Slash, and welcome back to Slash Build. Got a special episode of Slash Build for you. Special for a bunch of reasons. One, I am hoping to get this out in addition to the regular episode this week, so it'll be two. One of which is happening hopefully on Tuesday, and the other one of which is happening hopefully on Wednesday at its normal time. Also special because I'm not going to be doing a whole heck of a lot of building. Probably no building, actually. I just got back from PAX East, and I really wanted to talk about the experience, and since this series is kind of vlog style for me, this is where I talk about whatever's on my mind, I figured I would go ahead and give my PAX East recap right here in the series, rather than doing like an actual vlog, for instance. And in order to do that, I need to be able to do something that is not particularly mind intensive. I need something kind of brainless. So I'm going to be down here in the branch mine, just kind of mining away while I talk. So give me a second here. I want to pull up my notes. So yeah, just got back from PAX East. I've been in the house maybe 10-15 minutes, I think, since getting back. Very, very fun. We actually kind of started the whole PAX East experience while we were still on the road. We were in, I think, Connecticut, heading up I-84, I want to say is where it was. And we passed, or we didn't pass, but we got behind this little red car. I think it might have been a Ford Focus. I'm not exactly sure what it was off the top of my head, but they had a really well done PAX East 2013 logo drawn on the back of it on the window, and a Twitter handle. Silink, I guess is how you'd pronounce it. I don't know if I'm getting that right or not. So my wife, I'm driving, but my wife has, her hands and attention free, so she goes ahead and tweets at him and says, "Hey, we were just behind you. We're on our way to PAX East. We just saw you on the highway. How's it going?" And we ended up getting a tweet back from her. Her name's Jessie. She was going to be doing a Prince of the Cosmos cosplay from Katamari Damacy. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But that was pretty cool. A little bit of, nerd camaraderie right off the bat before we were even out there. We're heading out on Thursday because we were meeting with some friends, even though PAX didn't start until Friday. So yeah, that was very cool. We did end up seeing her. She was out dancing for the line Friday morning to get into the BCEC, the Boston Expo Center, where PAX was being hosted. And we were able to say, "Hey, it's us from on Twitter." We tweeted at you on the road. And she's like, "Oh, hey, hi," So it was really neat. Being able to connect in that way. So yeah, let's see. Friday morning, we hit up the cosplay panel that they were having. My wife's a very crafty individual, and she was considering cosplaying this year. Ended up not doing that. Just didn't get stuff together for it, but wanted to see what this panel had to say. That's far enough, I think, down this line. But yeah. So, we checked that out, and apparently there were some fairly big names in the costuming scene that were there on the panel. I don't really know too much about it, so I didn't recognize any of them necessarily, but it was a very entertaining panel nonetheless. And then, in the afternoon, I think it was around 1:30, the bunch of the Minecraft guys that were in attendance had tweeted out that they were going to be available for a meetup by the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon exhibit that was set up outside of the exhibit hall, but near some of the escalators. And so we headed over there, and we got to see a bunch of the Minecrackers and you know, get some pictures taken. We saw it was Paws on Paws was there. We saw Good himself. They also had BTC in the group. Blame the controller. And Nebris and MC Gamer were also there. So that was pretty cool. And I knew going into PAX, I knew what Good looked like. I knew what Paws looked like. I knew what BTC looked like. Did not know what Nebris and MC Gamer looked like. But we got a little bit of assistance from Twitter as far as that went, as they were showing up. So, and of course, you know, they were right there, and there were actually some fan server folks or some folks from the subreddit, and I didn't realize until afterwards. Just Van is somebody who frequents the Minecraft subreddit, and he was there, sort of, I guess, acting as a handler a little bit, or a coordinator. So he was hanging out with them for much of the weekend, and he was introducing folks as they were coming up. He was introducing them to the various Minecrackers. And so, whoa! So that was pretty cool. Excuse me. Actually, that brings me to my next point. I have a little bit of a cold. My wife got it far worse than I did, and I think... Which side am I putting the torches on? This side. I think, I mean, we actually were both had a little bit of a cold before we even got there. And I think it either just got worse for my wife, or she ended up picking up a new one, or whatever happened while we were there. But it was a little bit of a rough weekend. She had fun, but is still feeling kind of down, health-wise. And so whenever we were meeting the Minecrackers, we were mindful of that. We were like, you know, yeah, you know, they're extending their hand for, you know, a handshake. They were like, well, you know, we would, but you know, don't want to get you guys sick. And I'm meeting Paws, who I don't know if he himself is Native American, or whether that's just his avatar. I got the impression that he himself has some Native American heritage, but I know that they like to joke about it a lot on Minecraft. So, you know, he holds his hand out to shake my hand, and I said, oh, you know, man, I would, but I don't want to give you the pox. Referring to PAX pox, which is a thing, you know, like the con flu, convention flu, you know, referring to PAX pox. And and he makes the comment, he goes, hey, man, what do you mean by that? I'm like, well, he's like, that's racist. And then I realized what it was that I had said. I was like, oh, yeah, you got me. Yeah. Well, that was my chance to make a first impression, and I acted like I was going to start walking away. But, you know, he was cool. He was just razzing me about it. All of the guys were really very approachable and very easy to talk to. So if you're a Minecraft fan yourself and you have an opportunity to hang out with them and chat with them about the game or whatever, you know, just let them know how much you appreciate what they're doing. You know, be polite, go up and ask, you know, but don't feel like, you know, you should be shy or anything. They're very approachable, very nice. Got to talk to Good a little bit. I told him, you know, I'm a comp sci major, and I've watched some of his Feed the Beast stuff, and I told him, like, man, I do not get what you're doing with that computer craft stuff. That stuff is kind of messing with my head. I think it's because, and I told him this too, I was like, I think it's because the Lua programming language has got kind of a weird syntax. And he told me something that I didn't know. Apparently you can actually change what shell the computers and computer craft use. There's a way to do that. Information on the wiki. So I'm going to have to check that out for my single player Feed the Beast series on here. See if that's something that might actually improve computer craft for me. So that was pretty nice. You know, he was able to talk to me about that, and you know, we were able to, you know, he was able to share some information, and Very, very approachable. Very nice guy. And does a lot for the Minecrackers. I mean, he runs their vanilla server, he runs their Feed the Beast server, and he also runs the fan server, which has quite the population of folks on it as well. So, very cool guy. Let me check my timing here real quick on the episode. Hi, we're doing good. Want to try and keep it to the standard half hour if I can, but there's a lot of information to get out there, so we'll see what happens. Oop. Lava. That'll do it for this branch. So yeah, I think I mentioned BTC, Nebrus, MC Gamer, Pause, Good. BTC was the only one that thought to have, of the main Minecrackers, he's the only one that thought to have actual things to hand out. So he had these little controller things that he was handing out with all sorts of different excuses on it. Like, you know, on the B button, it's like, I pressed B, and, you know, the one analog's like, why is this inverted? You know, all the different things that you might complain about with a controller. Like, oh, that's why I failed. It's not through lack of my personal gaming skill. So I thought that was a pretty clever way of promoting his brand, was handing those things out. My wife got a bunch of pictures. I'm not much of a picture guy. I don't think about pictures when I'm meeting up with folks, you know, celebrities or whatever. Just because, you know, in my mind, like, I remember meeting the person, and so I don't need a picture to remind myself of that. And I feel like, you know, showing off the pictures is almost bragging to an extent, but I will likely be including those pictures as overlays. My wife is in most of them. She's in pictures with Diamond. She's not in pictures with Diamond. I just found some. Oh, dang it! I wanted to silk touch that to Fortunate later. This pick is too fast. But yeah, she got her picture with Pause, who was teasing her about her height, as I recall. She got a picture with BTC. I think we might both be in the picture with BTC. I don't remember. I know she got a picture with MC. She got a picture with Nebrus. She got a picture of me and Good. She actually forced me to go back. And, whoa. Alright, that's the end of that line. And she forced me to go back. She's like, wait, I want a picture of you and Good. So I had to go back and get a picture with him, but that was pretty cool. And then, a little bit later in the afternoon, the shaft. Oh, geez, there's lots of lava in this shaft. But the shaft, which is apparently a Minecraft podcast that's been around for a while and is fairly well known, from what I understand. I had not heard of it prior to PAX. But apparently quite a few other people are familiar with it, and they had a panel. And Good was one of the guests on that panel. I don't think the program said as much. Or I would have been more inclined to actually go to that panel, and just for the sake that Good was there, just to see what he had to say. But we ended up attending it because Generic B had tweeted out saying, hey, apparently I'm going to be on this panel now. I guess they had a cancellation or a no-show in their guest list, and Generic was asked to fill in, I'm supposing. And so we went and we checked that panel out, and it was neat seeing Good and Generic up at the desk, the table, you know, giving responses to questions. You know, I hate to be critical, but the Shaft folks that were actually involved in this panel, they didn't do a very good job of running the panel, I don't think. Because unfortunately, I mean, it came up very early as a topic in their discussion. What features would you want to see in Minecraft? And it ended up, like, I think they posed it as a question to the other panelists, the guy that was sort of moderating the thing. And then he ended up going around the room and just started asking people, you know, what do you think? What would you like to see in Minecraft? And so the rest of the panel almost became a Minecraft wish list. Like, man, I wish Minecraft had this. And that was not particularly entertaining for me, you know? I wanted to talk about Minecraft, not what Minecraft could have in it. But I don't, that could just be me. I don't know. It was a little weird. But still entertaining. If for no other reason than the Minecraft guys were there. So, alright. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to continue mining here. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about PAX. Got more stories to talk about. And hopefully I'll stop getting distracted by the supposedly mindless branch mining that I'm doing. So, see you in a bit. And we're back. Welcome. Thanks for sticking around. So let's see, what next did I want to talk about? Oh, so yeah, after the shaft panel, we decided, okay, let's stick around a little bit. Let's see if we can't, you know, get to meet some of these guys. We knew that, I mean, Good had to leave early because he was actually going to be on a 5 o'clock panel. The shaft panel was at 4 and was lasting basically an hour, so he had to leave partway through it to get to his next panel on house rules. But we stuck around to the end of the shaft panel and then went up to see if we could talk to Generic. And he was being mobbed a little bit. There was a decent number of people around him, so we didn't get to talk to him right away. But as we're standing there, I'm looking across the crowd of folks in the front, and I go, wait a second, I think that's Schism. Schism I initially knew from the KGBs, Kurt, Gleason, Brian, and Schism, from their Race for Wool. They were a Race for Wool team, Kurt being Kurt J. Mack. That's how, excuse me, that was my link to that group of folks. And so we ended up mustering our courage, and we went up, and we talked to them, and went up to Schism, and my wife points out that with Schism was Pungent, who is B00's brother, and is a member of Hermitcraft, the server that Generic B started. And I was like, are you sure that's Pungent? She's like, look at him. He looks just like B00. So we went up and we said hi, and we're like, hey, you're Pungent and Schism, right? And they're like, yeah. We're like, yeah, we weren't sure it was you, or, you know, can we have your autograph, you know? And he's like, yeah, you're the first ones to come up and, you know, talk to us, which that was pretty neat. And apparently that was both of them, their first convention of any sort. So we got to be the first people to recognize them out in public and, you know, kind of geek out over them a little bit, I guess. They handed us these little like 5x7 postcard kind of things with their channels on, and signed them. My wife made a point that they signed hers first. Pungent's put a little number 1, indicating, you know, hers was the first that he signed. Oops. Dang it. Oh, that'll just do that. So that was pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out how to get through this. Sorry. Fell silent there for a second. But yeah, we got to chat for them for quite a while. And then as we're sitting there chatting, Jenny became available. So my wife was able to talk to him a little bit. She had actually cross-stitched a Generic B shirt, putting his avatar on. What am I doing? Apparently... Ooh. Is this a cave? Something's dying. Apparently I've been through here before because I see cobblestone all the way over there. Oh, well, that's fine. Anywho, So yeah, we got to talk to them for quite a bit, and we were, talking about how we found their channels, and how we know them, and what kind of stuff is going on. And at one point, I had mentioned that I was doing this, that I was doing my own YouTube channel, and Pundred's very sweetly, like, he actually asked what my channel name was. I doubt that he would recall or that he would check out any of my videos. I mean, he's a bigger name by far than I am. I'm not a name at all. But it was awfully nice of him to ask, Super sweet. And very, again, like I said, these guys are very nice, very approachable. And super fun to talk to. So I appreciated that, he showed an interest in the fact that I was doing this. And then, like I said, Generic became available to talk to, so we talked to him a little bit. We were sort of geeking out over the Race to Commander he does with BOO. You're talking about how when that series is completed, because it's kind of coming close to an end, that the two of them needed to find another game that basically that they both sucked at, because they weren't very good at Call of Duty when they started. I would say they're pretty decent now. Probably better than I am, for sure. Although I've never actually played the game. So almost certainly better than I am, I guess. But anyway, tell them they need to start up another series kind of like that, because the two of them, when they are trash talking each other, very, very entertaining. So we recommended that. My wife didn't have on her shirt, I think I had mentioned already. But she did have with her, my son had drawn a little card for him. He drew a picture of a skull, because Jenny's really into skulls. A fact that I didn't know before PAX, but my wife knew. And, as only a 5-year-old can, attempted to write his username, and actually did a pretty good job of figuring out the phonetics of it. I thought it was cool. We got to give that to him personally. We got a picture of him holding it up. Because my son says, you need to get a picture of him with it, because I'm not going to believe you that that he has it unless you take a picture. So I don't know what kind of trust issues our son has with us, but we got the picture as commanded. And that was very cool. And what was especially cool about don't. I think I lost that. Oh, I don't even remember what it was though, so no big deal. I think it was redstone. But what was especially cool about when we met Generic, as soon as my wife says, "I'm not wearing your shirt," he immediately remembered, "Oh, you're the one from Twitter," because she had tweeted out that as she was working on this particular craft project, cross-stitching this, she had tweeted at him, saying, here's my progress so far on my Generic B shirt, or, when she was starting it out, she's like, hopefully my fingers aren't stupid, and he responded, was like, don't be stupid fingers. So he super awesome with his fans, definitely. And it was super cool that he recognized her from just for making that comment about the shirt. He had to get going then shortly after that to try and check out the rest of Good's panel that he was doing. I don't think they actually let him in by the time he got down there, just because... oh, excuse me. Just because the panel had been going on for a while. But we did end up the next day... my wife tweets at him, because that day she was actually wearing the Generic B shirt, and she's like, hey, would it be possible to get a picture with you, because I've got my shirt on today. It sounds funny. I've got the Generic B shirt on today. I should clarify. My wife did not go topless throughout most of PAX. But, can I get this iron that's over here? Whoa, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. What is going on? All right, hold on. I'll get back to that in a second. There we go. That ought to do it. Give me that iron. Perfect. I will take it. But what was awesome is that I keep saying awesome, and I apologize for that, but what was very cool, was very nice of him, was to, whenever we tweeted at him, or my wife tweeted at him and said, you know, could I get my picture taken? I've actually got the Generic B shirt on. He's like, yeah, we're over at, like, the Astro booth, or whatever it was. You know, swing on by and hang out. So she was able to get her picture. I think both of us were in that picture. I know we definitely were, because she takes a picture, we got it on our good quote-unquote good camera. It's kind of malfunctioning on us, but we got it on our good camera, we got it on a cell phone, and she tweeted it out, like, here's me and Generic B, you know, and somebody responds and says, and is that Simon from the Yogscast? Referring to me. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'll have to do up like a side-by-side comparison. I guess I could see, if you're only with passing familiarity with the Yogscast, maybe I look a little bit like Simon. But that really tickled my funny bone. If someone would ask if I was Simon from the Yogscast. So, yeah. And we got to see Pungence and Schism some more. At that point, we were talking. I was talking to Generic B about bees on Feed the Beast, and I was, you know, just having a great time. I mean, I made the observation, internet celebrity, which is what I would consider these guys to be celebrities. They might not themselves, but I would consider them to be celebrities. Consider them to be like internet celebrities. I feel like internet celebrity is the best kind of celebrity, because I need to put some of this stuff away, because folks who are big names as a result of the internet and producing content for the internet, they know why they're big names, why they've become popular, why, you know, they're doing well, because they're directly connected to their fans. You know, they're using Twitter directly, they've got the comment section on YouTube, you know, whatever else you can determine for that. But they know exactly who their fans are, and they know exactly why, you know, that the fans are the reason that they're doing well. Because many of them are full-time, and it is their job, it is their career, and they understand that their career is succeeding because their fans are supportive and being awesome. And they express that very frequently, and they have a lot of love for the fans, just as the fans have for them. And that was especially evident in getting to meet some of these guys in person. And so, very, very cool. Alright, well, just had to check the timer there real quick, and it looks like we've hit about the end of the episode. And pretty decent timing as far as that goes, because that's about everything I wanted to talk about with PAX. We didn't do too much else in terms of panels, and most of the rest of our time that we spent when we weren't, you know, talking with our Minecraft / Hermitcraft, you know, favorites, was spent hanging out in the tabletop section, trying out some games like Small World Underground, and I wanted to pick up a copy of Cards Against Humanity, but I wasn't able to do that. They were sold out, so I'm gonna have to look online for that. But just, you know, seeing all the cosplayers and just generally enjoying the very positive gamer atmosphere that PAX should be famous for worldwide. If not, you know, if people aren't familiar with it, they need to become familiar with it, because PAX is just ridiculously amazing. And if you have never been to PAX, I highly recommend that if you have the means, that you'll go check it out, because if you are a gamer of any sort, be it tabletop, be it, you know, video games, on PC, on Xbox, whatever, the PAX environment, it very much is like coming home. That's one of the ways they advertise it, and I would completely agree with you. It's you're among your people. But like I said, that's going to do it for this episode. I think I'm going to not get too much greedier with the goods that I have gotten. And I'll return up to the surface and drop this stuff off. But I will also thank you guys very much for watching. And you should, if everything works out well, you should get the regular /build episode, which I've already recorded. You should be getting that tomorrow. So, look for that then. And we will see you next time.